I am woman, hear me roar. The number's too big to ignore. Attempt number 2. Hello. Hello and welcome to Ascension Evolution. My name is Joanne, and I'm here to share my journey on this journey through Ascension as I evolve. Yay! Annie's here! Can you hear me? Attempt number 2. Yay, Laura! Whoop, 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 whoop. Now, I'm going to have to put a massive disclaimer. Where am I putting my coffee? Loud and clear, Carl. Okay, so I'm about to share something very personal and a very personal experience that happened to me over the weekend. Now, this is only about me sharing what the energetics are, what has been happening, so that it can help other people. I am not bad-mouthing anyone. I am not calling anyone out. I am not, because what I'm going to talk about can be very, very uncomfortable to hear for a lot of people. And what I'm going to ask is, if you feel uncomfortable, please know that I'm only talking from my heart and through my experience. And there's this massive shift happening right now. And it isn't the easiest thing to talk about. And I do this in service to the all. So if you're triggered, if you're, if it doesn't resonate with you, it's okay. It's not meant to. You can just turn off. You can just go and get on with your day. You can have the most beautiful day of heaven and earth without my energy in any of your beautiful day. However, I know this is going to help a lot of people, particularly women. So, the beautiful men subscribers of this channel, please know this isn't anything personal. I love you. And I love all our brothers. But this is mostly about our sisters. And the masculine also has elements of the feminine. So this can also relate to men who were born in men's bodies. But predominantly, it's going to be about being in a physical female body. Right, are we doing it? Can I have a drink of coffee first? Because I'm a little bit, I don't know where to start. Where am I starting? Let's start. Just start, Joanne. Just do it. So, on Thursday, right, the week before, let's go back into time. I've been having this energy build up in my sacral womb space, hips. This heavy energy had been building up there, okay, prior to the full moon. And I went to a beautiful friend of mine, Nicola, who I would love to have on here at some point, actually, if you're watching this. Because she is Nicola Lightfingers, I call her now. Because she does a lot about trauma release from the physical body. Okay. And this, I did a thing called, she did a thing for me called Hawaiian bone washing. And I believe what the Hawaiians believe is that between your bone and I'm probably going to mess this up, I'm really sorry, but between your bone and your tendons is where you store trauma. So on the Thursday, I'd gone to my beautiful friend, and she'd done this Hawaiian bone washing to release trauma. Okay. That was great. It was fabulous. As she was working in different areas, I got these pictures of things that happened to me in my life, and it was just phenomenal. Anyway, I actually saw myself in the womb, like, to start with. It was crazy. So then Friday came, and how do I word this? Friday came, and I started being aware very much of how I am treated as a woman. So without calling anyone out within my reality, because this isn't what this is about, I had a situation where somebody'd come to fix the boiler, and I forgot. And I literally had like just like a little strappy kind of, I mean, it covered my bum and my thighs and covered me, but I didn't feel comfortable answering the door like that. So I grabbed a jacket and I like threw a jacket to cover myself to answer the door, right? And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot you were coming. Like, hubby's sleeping. Um, can do you need anything?" I went, "Sorry, I haven't had time to get properly dressed." And he went, "Oh, don't mind me." And I was like, so I closed the door, and I was like, that was a little bit. Now, what I'm about to talk about here is probably all subconscious programming within the males that I'm about to talk about. I'm not insinuating that anything was done on purpose to make me feel uncomfortable or intimidated or any of these things. Most of this stuff is subconscious. Okay. Are you guys still there? Because the chat's gone really quiet. Right. So I'm having to give you the build up. I'm having to give you the build up so I can get into the bones of what's been going on, because it's a big picture. It's a big picture. Lots of pieces. Thank you, Angie. So came in, I was like, and then there was a little bit of a situation happened whereby a gentleman came to the door, didn't quite have his facts right. And I had to address it. And I felt the subconsciousness of intimidation. Okay. And that was massive. And I'm not going to go into the details of that because I don't need to talk crap about anybody, right? But I had to step into a role of being the masculine to defend my family and my son. And it was very uncomfortable. Then there was another situation the same day whereby I was aware of someone within the close vicinity here. It's difficult because anybody can watch this, and as I say, I want to protect people's. I'm not bad mouthing anybody. As I say, this is probably subconscious, but I was very aware of something of a gentleman very close to me had done something to get up me, basically, right? So I'm in this space where I'm like, I'm really being persecuted as a woman. Okay. And then, sorry, man, but there's stuff I'm about to talk about here. I'm going to talk about porn. I'm going to talk about, you're allowed to say that on YouTube now. Let's call it, NORP. I don't know. Right, let's call it NORP. I'm going to talk about periods. I'm going to talk about all this stuff, okay? If you don't like it, just don't be here. I love you. So then I took my cycle on this full moon, okay? And the pain got worse, 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 whereby I would have done anything to get rid of this pain. Anything. And thankfully, I reached out to my dragon calling family, and they all helped in the healing process. But the pain that I was in was like I was in labor. It was the same pain. It was pain in the back of my hips. It was like excruciating pain. Okay. And it was horrific. Okay, it was horrific pain. And I couldn't get any clarity on it. And thankfully, my dragon family came to the rescue and I managed to get asleep. And I got up the next day and felt that I really had to get in a bath. I was still sore, but not as sore. And I got in this bath, and the whole persecution of the feminine hit me like a ton of bricks. And I've never really thought about it. I've never really felt into it before. About what really has happened to the female, the mother, the daughter, the sister within society, and how we have been pitted against each other, going right back to the witch trials. Through the whole of history, we are deemed this word, right? Or the likes, okay? Please see in the chat, can you name me a goddess that isn't one of them? Can you name me a goddess that isn't that hasn't been labeled this in some shape or form, please? I was in this bath and I had to look at the full persecution of the female of the species. And I had to feel that pain of the separation and the divide and how we've been treated by the patriarchy and how we've been dumbed down, how we've been taught to be in competition with each other, how we've been burned, how we've been persecuted. And it really hurt. And after I cried, like broke down, like absolutely weeping for the feminine. And listen, we've all been these things, okay? We've all been these things. So if you're a man watching this, you'll have had a lifetime as a woman. So this applies to us all. This applies to us all. This isn't just about bad mouthing men or anything like that. Okay, this isn't what this is about. We've been sexualized, we have been objectified, we have been used, we have been abused, we have been tormented. And I had to see and feel this through all the eons. And then I look at the sisters round about me and what they're experiencing right now. And how hard it is to find a divine masculine who is not in a distorted form, because ancestry, because of, it's nobody's fault. Hi, Mark, darling. It's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault, really. We are where we are, okay? But as a woman, I had to look at my own distortions, and I don't even know who I am as a woman. So I've gone through this like physical pain, and the physical pain had to come because I had to figure out what it was that was happening within me. And the pain had to be so strong because I had to look at this, I had to feel it. And then I had to feel all the emotional pain of the torment and the abuse and the suffering and how we're treated as women. And this isn't about feminism. I'm going to go there in a minute. So I'm sorry if you're a feminist. I'm probably going to offend you too, but hey ho. So I'm looking at all this, and then I'm like, well, I can see why the feminist movement came about, right? Because we were angry. There was this anger within womendom. I don't know what else to call it. Oh, Mark, you're not a feminist. Okay, good. The women got angry because all they wanted was a voice, you know. But then we went too far. Because of the pain that we were suffering, and hurt people. We then went too far because we didn't get balance. We've never achieved it. We're still living in a patriarchal society. And I don't want a matriarchal society either. I want balance. I want like true, proper balance. Okay. For us, for our children, for our grandchildren, for all of humanity now. And what we did as women was we wanted the right to work, and we wanted the right to vote, and we wanted our voice, and we wanted to be heard, and we had every right to fight for that. But what happened? Because now we're, as women, we have to do it all. I don't mean that men don't do anything. Please don't take this the wrong way, okay? But as a woman, I'm working, I'm seeing to the house, and the children, and we've just given ourselves more work, and we've lost ourselves in the process. Listen, you can please come in the comments and let's chat. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this, because then I'm looking at myself and I'm like, I've always been masculine. Because of my upbringing, and because my dad didn't know how to be a dad. He wasn't a divine masculine. It's very hard to find a divine masculine that's balanced in the world right now. And so I had to step up as this protector. And I really stepped into being more masculine than I ever have feminine. And now I don't know even where that part of me is. And so as I go through this whole process and then I look to the world, I look outside of myself, and I see all this confusion between what's a man and what's a woman, and, born in wrong bodies, and no friggin' wonder. No wonder. There's no clear definition anymore. And please correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I'm not here to tell anybody what to believe or what to do. I'm just here opening up a conversation. And then, I'm looking at history, and I'm looking at all the gods, and they're all male, and they're all running the show, and they're all, what about the goddesses? Why were the goddesses all this? Why? Why are we all always subjectified down to our sexuality? Why does it always come down to this? Why does it always come down to this? So I've sat in this space of, oh, here I am bubbling again. Welcome to Ascension Evolution, where Joanne just cries most of the time, but that's okay. How do I find that divine feminine in me? Because as much as I'm saying the divine masculine's missing, where's the divine feminine? It has to be balanced, and we have this inside of ourselves, no matter what suit we're in. Divine masculine and divine feminine. And now I don't even know what that looks like. I don't even know what the definition of these things are anymore. And what it came down to was that I don't feel safe being a woman. I'm on here, I put my heart and my soul, and anybody can watch this. This is why I have to be careful what I say, because I don't want to offend anybody, or I certainly don't talk crap about anybody. I'm not interested in any of that. But I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe to be a woman. It's much safer for me to be in my protective masculinity. And I've done that for the majority of my life. And I know, I really thought I knew who I was. I've done so much work in myself, and of course I know who I am. But now I'm being asked to step into this divine feminine role in balance with also having the divine masculine role in there. But I'm struggling because I look out into society and I don't know where to find it to emanate it to. All I see is persecution. And a lot of it is down to PORN. This is, let's go there. Let's talk about this. Do you know the average age right now that a child is subjected to NORN? Do you know what age that is? Do you know what age the studies are telling us that is? Have a guess in the comments. Go and pop an age in the comments that you think that these children are subjected to NORN at. Andrea, I can't remember a day in my life where I felt safe as a woman. I'm nearly 53. What was that? Yeah, so people are saying 8, 5, 10, 9. It's 9 years old. Now, again, I'm not saying what's right, what's wrong. I'm not in any position to judge anybody or anything. Okay? But what happens to our children when they see this and they think that's normal? Because 98% of women that work in this industry have been abused prior to working in this industry. These aren't great figures. These aren't, what does that tell you? And the women that are in this industry, I can't speak for them because I haven't one, okay? But they predominantly do it for money. They tell themselves it's okay. It's not going to affect them. And because the majority of them have had some sort of ABUSE prior to going in, it's normalized for them. Where does that leave our kids? And what does that show? What does that show? What does that do for our society? What's it do for our society? Norn then becomes an addiction. And that gratification that is achieved from that is an addiction. And once it becomes an addiction, how do they have a normal relationship? Because I know friends of mine who have, they've met somebody and the guy has just done something absolutely ridiculous sexually and they think it's okay because they watch Norn. It's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. So throughout history, you look at the kingdoms, the king, and it was always the firstborn son, and it was always a disappointment, to have a girl born. Well, how'd you get here if not through a vagina? Hey, Rachel. So I'm feeling all this, right? And I'm seeing all this fake history. Okay, this stuff is nonsense. It's nonsense. How can God be a man if creation needs to have a vagina? So this whole weekend I've been processing all this trauma, and I'm not the only one. And the reason I am sharing this with you guys is because how many women over this weekend had a really bad cycle or had pain in their lower back or their hips or cramps or were purging, because this has been collective. We're stepping into a collective healing of the feminine right now. And I was purging this for the whole of femaledom, and I'm not the only one. I'm not saying this out of ego, okay? But something's got to shift here. I cannot live and I won't live in a world where this is all normalized. I'm just not going to do it. Hi, Karen. Annie. Oh my God, I'm snotting everywhere. I had a grown-up male friend who physically judged women in real life by the way the women looked in those films. He's still never had a girlfriend. Right. Natalie, darling, I want to be the DF and have a perfect DM too. Yes, balance the relationship would be awesome for the kids too, to see a proper relationship. This is about balance. This isn't about women taking over the asylum. This is about us finding balance within ourselves. Now, it's all fine and well Joanne having this conversation. Mark, thank you for being here. Thank you for holding up for the masculine here, Mark. I appreciate you. Thank you for sitting through this. And not being triggered. I really appreciate you being here, Mark. Thank you. So it's all fine and well, right? Me saying this, and we've gone through this, and we're pop a little heart in the comments if you're a woman and this weekend you have felt emotional for no reason, or you've had maybe an unexpected cycle period, or you've had pains or cramps, or all related to the divine feminine, the womb area, the lower back. This weekend, let's just get a little show, and men as well. You could have been feeling this. You could have been feeling emotional too, not just our sisters. But please, I want to see this. I want to see all day Saturday. See, look at the hearts here, and see if you're watching this later. Can you put this in as well? Because I'm telling you, this is collective. This is collective. So what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about this? I know you do, Mark. What are we going to do about this? How do we change this? What do we do? See? Do you see this? This is collective. We are shifting into this space where we need to be safe to be a divine feminine. So listen, I don't have all the answers for everything, but what I need to find this within me. I choose to find this within me. I choose to find this balance. Camera's moving about all over the place. I choose to find balance. But listen, how much have our sisters been pitted off against each other as women? How much do you not want to spend time around women because they're just bitchy? Let's be honest here. Let's have a very, very honest conversation. And why? Why do we not even feel safe with our sisters? Because we've been pitted against each other. Put in competition with each other. You need to look a certain way. If you're more beautiful, you're more this, and you're more that, and you're more all this stuff. Gotta strip this back to basics. This has to come full circle. There's so much power within the feminine. Creation lies within the feminine. We are creation. That feminine side of you, whether you're in a male suit or a female suit, is your power. There's power in bleeding every month. There's power in connecting into the full moon every month. Thank you for being here, Nigel, darling. There's power in accessing that feminine energy within us. So here's what I'm stepping up to. Listen, I don't know what this looks like. But this is what I'm stepping up to. I'm going to start creating sisterhood circles. And I'm going to have one online every month. And I'm going to create one in person within my community, because it's time for us to stop pitting each other against each other. It's time to come together as sisters. Oh, loopy loo. Because if we can bring these gatherings back together, there's so much power in that. I have to find my feminine through other feminine. I want that connection. I want to feel safe with my sisters. I want to feel safe as a female. But I want to feel safe in my divine feminine without having to step into my divine masculine and protect myself all the time. I want to know that I can answer my door, covering myself up and not be subjectified. And if I am, what I do about that. I want to bring the sisterhoods of communities back together again. We are strong, unified, Wendy. So this is what I'm going to do. And it's going to be donation based so that, people that aren't in a position at the moment to, I want every female to have access to this. And men, I'm sorry, I'm not singling you out, but we have to feel safe. We have to feel in a safe space as a woman. And we start that by coming together as women. So please don't feel, Mark. So please don't feel excluded from this. I would love the men in the community to get together, because listen, pubs are shutting down and all this kind of thing. Men, I can't facilitate a place for men to come together because I'm not a man. I don't know what it's like to be a man. I don't know what it's like to live in the world as a man. So I would love to see men circles coming together. But right now, I'm going to start a female circle. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what it's going to look like. I have absolutely no idea. But I have to start somewhere, because we're stronger together than we are apart. And I want to create a space where we are free to be without the labels, that we are free to be without, this word or any of the other words that come with it, where we're not objectified, where we're not feeling like we're in any other position. That I want to create these safe places for us to come together as women to figure out what divine femininity is all about. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll put it out here. I'll let you guys all know. It'll probably be via Zoom. And if people want to make a donation, for my time towards that, they can. If not, then that's okay as well. I want to have this space where we can come together and have communities of women. So, and this is collective and this is massive. We've got to stop pitting each other against each other and come together in a celebration of the divine feminine, of who we are, of what we've got to offer here, of our place here, to bring the nurturing energy back, to bring this caring, this loving, this creation energy, because how else do we create a world that we want to live in if we can't be in our divine feminine? And if we come together, just maybe, that power can help the divine masculine rise. If we can step out of being that protector and into that divine masculine, because I know I do everything. I don't have to. But it's all been programming and what I've had to do within my life and how I've had to step into it. Jane, I too always stood more in my masculine. Single mum to my first daughter, beautiful but depressed and programmed second husband. Yeah. Get your kilt on, Mark. Get a swishing. A good place to start is Megan Watterson's book, The Divine Feminine. Thank you, Dragonfly. What I'm going to do is I want to start with us. I want to start with community. I want to start with the people that are already here, because not everybody in my community that I'm going to bring together is going to be awakened. And that's important too. So I don't want to reach outward I want to find it within us. I want to find it within us, because that's where the power is, you know? And if we can bring these communities together, and these communities stay together, in the physical as well as online, you're never alone. And maybe then our daughters can walk in our footsteps safely, and our sons can learn how to be in their divine masculine and be comfortable with the divine feminine. And if we can find this balance, how do we have a new earth vibration and all these beautiful things that we want to bring if we haven't sorted our human out? Loopy Loo. I always end up wearing the trousers at home to get things done, but sometimes I'd like to sit back and wear a frock and be looked after. Exactly, but we've done that to ourselves, right, Loopy Loo? Like, we've done that because we were sick of being downtrodden and used and abused and objectified and the weaker sex and all the rest of it. And we went for equality, but we didn't get equality. We were like, well, we'll just do everything. We'll just do everything. And so we shoot ourselves in the foot, because we don't go for equality, because we're women, like, we'll just do it all. Because that's the power of a woman, right? But I don't want to do it all anymore. I want to sit back and wear a frock, you know? I want my husband to take the bins out. I want the heavy things in the house to be lifted by him, because of his build, and because he's got the muscles, and because I've got to stop being the one that's like, oh, I'll just do that because it hasn't been done, or that hasn't been done, or that hasn't been done. I also have to step back and allow that process to happen. So I know this has been as a Virgo woman, nobody can do it properly, so I'll just do it myself. Get it, Rachel? Absolutely. We've been guided and manipulated to do that, in my opinion. Yeah, Tracy. And Wendy, just because we can do it all doesn't mean we should. And then where does the man get his place in this? How do they feel about it? Is Mark away? How do they feel about it? How do they feel about, like, you know, the demasculation? Is that a word? Demasculinization? Is demasculinization a word? Anybody? The demasculinization is a word? If it isn't, it should be. That's happening within society now is crazy as well, right? It is now, Lauren. Yeah, Mark's still here. So, I mean, that too. It's almost like the men are being, groomed to be feminine. Like, why can't a man be safe to be a man? Mark, do you feel safe being a man? Do you feel judged? How do you feel as a man in this world? Because, within the realms of I don't like the word spirituality, but in the realms of awakening, and the majority of people that watch this are female. So there's also that minority there as well, Mark, of you being aware of your empathy, your empathy. Um, but it's been there's no wonder that the youth of today are confused, and we're seeing all these things happen in the world because there's no clear definition anymore of those roles. And there is no right and there is no wrong, but that's why we're where we are now. It's almost like men aren't allowed to be proper men either, right? It's hard for males right now. Of course it is, Mark. My husband is a Scorpio with Pisces moon. He's internal conflict all the time. So maybe by us feeling us having that balance within ourselves, it takes the pressure off the man. Does the female getting in touch with that balance as well and having some clear guidelines, does that not help our brothers also? Because of course it's not easy on either side right now, being a man or a woman. But as I say, I can only speak from a woman's point of view, because that's the body that I was born in, right? But I can see, as I look into society, that that big, strong, burly, masculine man, it's almost being preened to look feminine. Why? Isn't it bizarre? Isn't it bizarre? Thermal paper that are the receipts we get are coated with estrogen. No. Really? Really? Is that true, Dragonfly? Metal? Why? What's that? Do you see? And, I've had these conversations about the contraceptive pill before. Hola! About how that estrogen is being peed into the water. How do you remove a hormone from water? How many women are on the pill and are peeing a estrogen into the water? How do we remove that hormone from that system, that cycle? It's all relative, So it's all fine and well talking about these things, but I'm about action, I have to be the change that I want to see in the world. So I'm going to start there. I'm going to start by horse piss. I'm going to start by setting up women's circle once a month. Going to have one locally. Going to have one online. So look out for that. It's how we make a change, is by taking action, right? Good thinking, Loopy Loo. Lauren, really? Horse's peas used in hair color? Horses. I've never been down the horse pea rabbit hole. Thanks for showing it to me, though. Every day's a school day. And today's obviously the school day about horse pea. Fascinating. They want the women to become men and the men to become women. Well, Not on my shift, okay? Because I'm a woman and I want to figure out what that means to me. And I'm going to do that with my other women. And hopefully within communities, men will also do that too. Hopefully within communities, men will start gathering and doing men stuff. Like darts. And drinking horse pee. No, don't do that. Don't start like a don't start like a horse pee club. I mean, do if that's what you want to do. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but it'd be a little bit weird, you know. I mean, I love weird also, like embrace your weird. But don't think I would be recommending that. You know, each to their own. Andy's Man's Club is a great place for men to talk. Awesome, the Jarve. I know there is you know, there is places, but it's important for men to have that space as well, right? I just can't provide it because I'm not a man, but it's important for men to have these spaces as well so that they can have conversations. They can have conversations about, well, what does it mean to be a man, and how can we come together as men, and how can we make a change in our community? You know, it all comes back to bringing back community. And listen, the men would go hunting together and the women would prepare to cook the food that the men brought back. And that was their bonding, and that was the female bonding. Females in communities, they all bled together because there was power in that, okay? They all supported each other through childbirth, through illness, through death. Like, they supported each other. We don't have that support now. I don't see it. I don't see that support in communities. I see, oh, this one's got that, and this one's got that, and they've got that. So I want to go and get that. And it's all just cosmetic bullshit. Let's get back to basics here. Let's figure out within ourselves what that balance looks like. Let's have groups where we can go and be ourselves, truly be ourselves, to figure this stuff out, to celebrate our womanhood, to celebrate our manhood, and to show the children and the adults of tomorrow what that looks like. We have to be these role models. We have to be. Oh, the pill was horse piss. I've already been in the horse piss club then. Oh, well, you see, there you go. This is why I never say never, right? Because maybe you've already done it and you just didn't know. Oh, man. What? What? So, please look out for what's coming, because let's do this. You know, let's do this. Fran, I've noticed many men don't have shoulders anymore. Oh, is it because of the lifting heavy weights at the gym so they can look good? That's fascinating too, isn't it? The Red Tent book was so lovely, how the women were with each other. I haven't read that. Maybe I will. I really am going to dive into this whole femininity, because the divine feminine is rising. And as we live in a like attracts like, the more of us that have the divine feminine rising, the more that it happens to the whole of the collective. And we can just tell through this conversation and people that have put hearts, everybody was feeling this weekend. This is the time. The time is now to step into this, right? This is the time. And as the divine feminine rises, so does the divine masculine. And then we find balance in ourselves, and we find these communities, and we come together and we make a difference. And that, my beautiful brothers and sisters and my family, is how we change our reality and live in a world that we choose to live in, rather than survive it or tolerate it. I don't know who they is. Them. They, them. They, them, Mark. I don't know why I said they, and I don't know what context I said it in. So, and listen, here's the thing: it's all us. So who is they? We are they. We are they, and we have allowed this to happen. Right? There's no point in playing the blame game. There's no point. Oh, big boy did it and ran away. We are them. We are them. We are all. All is in the one, right? So it's not about like, oh, they did this and they want us to do this and they made us eat horse piss and think it was a pill. So what? I consented. I did it. I did it. I chose to do it. But you know what? Now I don't choose. Now I don't. Now I don't. Now I don't choose to do it. Now I choose to be the difference that I want to see in the world by taking responsibility. I'm taking responsibility for me. I'm taking responsibility for my actions. I'm not blaming anyone for anything because I get that everybody is just doing the best for them that they know how to do. And nobody has my power but me. And I'm not giving it away by saying, oh, they did this or they did that, or blaming anyone or blaming anything at all, because it's all me. This is my responsibility. You can have it be your responsibility. That's your choice. That is free will. But this is why I'm here. I made the decision to come here because it's my responsibility to not blame anybody anymore. I've been that bitch. I've been that person that spoke behind somebody's back. I've been that person that's judged somebody because they were beautiful. Or I've been all. I've judged men, I've judged women, I've caused separation, I have caused drama and friendships, I have caused separation between sisters, I have it all. I've done it all. I won't do it anymore. I won't do it anymore. Or I'm going to do my best not to do it anymore because I'm human. But this is where I take responsibility for it all, and I be the change I want to see in the world, and I be the change that I want to see within my community. And someone's got to do it. So I'm not saying I'm comfortable with it. I'm not saying that I'm like, woo, yay, this is something that's very, very uncomfortable for me because I don't know what that is in myself. But I don't go through the weekend that I went through to be shown what I was shown, to feel what I had to feel, to not do something about it. So here I am, ranting. With love. My 12-year-old had her third period. Her first two were light and okay. This one went for 5 to 6 days and was insanely heavy and really painful. She freaked out this was going to be her future reality. There's so much about also hiding the fact that we bleed every month, right? There's shame. There's shame in having a cycle. Bye, Angie, darling. Thank you for being here. There's shame in having a cycle. And as a, for the men, I mean, I don't know what the men are taught about cycles, but there seems to be quite a disgust about it within there's disgust within the female community about something that is very, very natural. It's hardly spoke about. And it's almost hidden, even sanitary products are hidden, they're concealed. There's, if you go to the shop, what has to be hidden, or do you want me to put that in a bag for you, or why is it being hidden? What it's normal. It's, without it we can't procreate. Is that the word? Procreation a word? Procreation. Procreate. We can't have the babies, you know. Procreate's a word, right? Well, I don't know. I'm only human. It is now, Lauren. Thank you very much. So, and in the dictionary of Joanne. So all this stuff, you know, speak about it. Let's get together as women. Let's get together, children, you know, at the age of 9 and have these conversations. Have the conversations with the boys at the age of 9. Like, I've always been very open and honest with my son with regards to, he's like, whoa, what's that? And I've been like, well, listen, you know, as a woman, we bleed. And I told him why, and that it's nothing to be ashamed of, and that you look after your girlfriend or your wife or whatever that is when they bleed every month. I told him how it felt for me as a woman to feel that way, and it's nothing to be ashamed of, and it's nothing to hide. You know, my husband has baby heart attacks when asked to go. Do you see what I mean? Like, and what do they want us to do? Will we just walk about with like blood pouring down our legs? Like, as a woman, is very uncomfortable as well, because we're always aware of, oh my goodness, what if we bleed through that? Or you know, have you, and somebody must have had a friend that bled through something and they were absolutely ridiculed for it. How horrific! How horrific is that? You know? Poor Kent. Talk about my son. He's good. He's good. This is just a fact of life. It's nothing to be ashamed of. We shouldn't be hiding these things, is what I'm saying. You know, it's nothing that needs to be hidden. On that note, I'm not going to rant anymore because I've been at it for an hour now. But thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for getting this far into an hour. As I say, this is only me sharing in the hope that we can really make a difference within this world. That's my it's gross arc. Try it every month. Try it every month. I had 3 girls. My husband worked local. He was the one to get, Dad, I need you to bring me. He was a great dad. It's lovely. Okay, so I'm gonna go because I have a meeting with my beautiful Patreon family at 11 o'clock. Thank you for being here. If you're watching this later and you're catching up, please let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is an open conversation for all, you know, and the more we talk about these things, the better. So I love you, and I love you. I love you. Have a day of heaven and earth, and let's do this, you know. Let's be the change that we want to see in the world. You're all awesome. We're all just magnificently, I'm just so grateful for each and every one of you that you actually want to sit and even listen to anything that I've got to say. So even for that, I give absolute gratitude. Thank you for holding space for me while I went through a little emotional period, pardon the pun, there as well. The heavenly day of heaven and earth. And just very quickly, the 1010 portal is coming up. I think there's a couple of spaces left. This one is all about bringing back clarity of sight to humankind. We're going to be working on the third eye. We're going to be retrieving parts of us through our own existence in space-time dimension, where we've shut our third eye down or we've given our power away of sight. I think there's still a few spaces in the 1010 portal if anybody wants to come along and join us there as well. It's up on the website. And I don't imagine I'm going to be doing much more of this portal work unless I'm really called to, because now my focus is going to be shifting into this new space of working out how we create a better future for all. Okay. Love you. Grateful for you all. Thank you for you all. Have a beautiful day now. Do yourself a favor, right? There's if you haven't seen it, there's a group called, this isn't going to be everybody's like sense of humor or music, but it's mine and I just love it and it just makes me smile. So Thumpasaurus, and it's called Struttin', right? And the video is just hilarious and the song is hilarious and I love the fun that they've brought into music and into their genre. So Strutting by Thumpasaurus. Let me know what you think about that as well. Okay, love you all. Have an awesome day.